Hey everyone, Lanny Oakley here with Team Trijicon, and I'm so excited. We have the start of Colorado elk season tomorrow. It's going to be great. We have some fresh snow, which means that elk are going to be moving around, fresh tracks. I've got my Trijicon AccuPoint 3 to 9 all sighted in, and what I'm going to do for you guys is show you how to go from field to table. I know a lot of people struggle with how to cook wild game, so I'm going to take you along this journey, and then I'm going to show you how to cook some wild game at the end with one of my favorite recipes, so stay tuned. We've got the elk all packed out. We quartered it, deboned it, threw it in our packs, packed it out of the mountains, and I've got a hind quarter here on the cutting board. And what I do is I clean it up, make sure there's no dirt, hair, things like that. When you're processing it out in the woods, being really careful with it and making sure that you don't get a lot of hair and dirt and things like that on it really makes a big difference and saves you a lot of time when you get to this point when you're cleaning it up. So really make sure that you take the time to do that. When I get to this point, I cut off all the fascia, the tendons, ligaments, fat, things like that, get down to just pure muscle. And you know, these elk have a lot of it. So the hindquarters have a lot of, and your back straps and tenderloins, that's where you get the steaks, roasts, you know, your good quality cuts of meat, the ribs, the neck meat, front shoulders, things like that. You get a lot of your burger where you grind up, and I do that all myself. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get this all processed, and then I'm gonna show you a recipe on how to cook it. Okay, we're down to recipe time. I'm going to give you guys a way to cook the elk so that you can use it in a lot of different meals and things like that. But the final product for this one is going to be a smoked elk brioche sandwich with some caramelized onions and mushrooms and some gorgonzola cheese. It's going to be really good. Really simple way to cook up a easy meal. And then you can use the elk for a lot of different recipes after that. So this is a good starting point for the elk. So I'll take a hunk of the elk, a roast or something like that, and what I do is I brine it. And usually for brines, I mean, you can make up any sort of recipe, or there's a lot of recipes online, but usually it's, say, approximately 4 cups water to half a cup of salt. And then you can add whatever spices and seasonings you want to kind of spice it up and make it fun. So I do that for about 48 hours max, definitely not more than that. 24 hours is plenty. After that, I smoke it on, say, 225. I have a Traeger grill, so I smoke it on that for about 2.5 hours. You can wrap it to keep it nice and moist. What I do is I keep checking the internal temperature so that it doesn't go over 130. At 130, I pull it, wrap it up in tin foil if it isn't already, and then let the temperature rise and kind of cook on its own until it's about 140 to 150. With elk, because it's so lean, you have to be really careful how you cook it. It can dry out really easily, so if you want to, you can wrap it in bacon. I didn't on this, and it turned out just fine. So what I recommend is don't get the temperature up too high. That's the key. There's no fat in it, so it's going to cook a lot quicker than something else, and you should do it at a lower temperature. After that, we're going to slice it up. We're going to saute our onions, caramelize them, add the mushrooms, melt a little gorgonzola on top, toast the bread, and voila. Check it out. So there you have it. There's your smoked elk and brioche sandwich with some gorgonzola cheese and some caramelized onions and mushrooms. So check out all the great recipes, shooting tips, and products at Trijicon.com.